What is up, Kano Kari fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have to talk about the absolute madness that is Rent a Girlfriend chapter 426. If you thought Reiji Miyajima couldn't top the infamous swimming pool incident or Kazuya's endless mental gymnastics, think again. Chapter 426 is titled Girlfriend and Impulse 2, and it is a psychological roller coaster that takes us directly inside Kazuya's most private moments. But past the initial shock value, there is some massive development here regarding Kazuya's absolute obsession with Chizuru, and a massive final page twist featuring Umi and Ruka that is going to change the entire trajectory of this arc. Before we dive into the juicy details, make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment below. Is Kazuya ever going to grow up, or is he completely hopeless? Let's break it down. Alright, let's set the scene. Chapter 426 starts with Kazuya exactly where we usually find him, lying on his bed, completely spiraling. He's scrolling through X, formerly Twitter, and his timeline is completely flooded with adult content. Naturally, seeing creators with short black hair immediately triggers his anxiety because it reminds him of Ruka. He realizes it's been 2 days since he last let off some steam. And this launches Kazuya into a massive internal debate. He's been actively avoiding Ruka, but he's terrified of what she'll do next. He flashes back to when Ruka pinned him down on this exact bed, and his brain starts wandering. He thinks, honestly, I'm really interested, straight up imagining what it would be like to go all the way with her. Even Fishkun breaks the fourth wall here, basically saying, sorry, everyone overseas. Reiji knows exactly what he's doing to the international fan base with this. But then the guilt kicks in. Kazuya scolds himself, thinking that doing anything with Ruka would be cheating, and he wonders how he could ever face Chizuru Mizuhara again if he did. Then he looks over at an unopened condom next to his bed. This triggers a sadder, more grounded reflection. He remembers he's already been rejected once. He hasn't truly had the time to sit and be miserable about it, but looking back hurts. He tries to justify his next actions by rationalizing it. He thinks about what Mini Yaimori said. If they had actually been dating, that incident wouldn't have happened. So he concludes, it's probably forgivable if I jerk off to Ruka-chan just one time. He literally hits his own head, screaming at himself, but then rationalizes it again as an immunization simulation. He claims Chizuru isn't narrow-minded enough to get mad at this, calling his solo time a man's sacred refuge. Classic unhinged Kazuya logic, guys. Now, this is where the chapter gets incredibly specific and bizarre. Kazuya finds a video with a short-haired actress who looks like Ruka, acting alongside an actor with orange-dyed hair. Because his phone screen is cracked, his brain completely superimposes himself and Ruka onto the video. As the video reaches its climax, which features some classic manga black box censorship, Kazuya reaches for a tissue. But right at the exact moment of climax, the manga hits us with a massive 1.5-page spread. Instead of Ruka, the entire page is filled with an image of Chizuru in her date outfit, laughing and bathed in pure light. Outside his room, birds are chirping, and we cut back to Kazuya lying flat on his face, arms splayed out, in total, utter post-nut clarity. The crumpled tissue is right there on his pillow. This brings us to some deeply poetic yet incredibly tragic narration from Kazuya. Let's look at what he says here. Ever since that time, Mizuhara securely had a room in my heart. It became a 1-room dining kitchen, then a 2-room dining kitchen. Even when I was rejected, even when I was played with the taxi kiss, every single time she wouldn't disappear from my heart. My whole body and soul had become yours. This is Reiji Miyajima's signature style. He takes a moment that is inherently crude and turns it into a profound psychological breakdown of Kazuya's devotion. Even when trying to escape his feelings via Ruka, Chizuru completely dominates his mind. He's sniffling, totally dazed, and says, "Guess I'll hit the gym." Because what else do you do after a crisis like that? We suddenly cut away from Kazuya's room to a cafe. Sitting at a table together are Umi and Ruka. Let that sink in for a second. Umi, the smooth, handsome actor who confessed to Chizuru and has been a constant source of insecurity for Kazuya, is meeting up with Ruka, Kazuya's hyper-possessive trial girlfriend. Umi says, "Thanks for today. I'm glad you made time for me, Sarashina-san." Ruka, meanwhile, is giving him a death glare, completely suspicious of his motives. The final narration line reads, "The final great wave to put a stop to that was rising," and the preview title for chapter 427, "Enemies sharing the same boat or uneasy allies." This is massive, guys. Why are Umi and Ruka meeting? Think about it. Both of them have a shared goal, even if they don't like each other. Ruka wants Kazuya all to herself, and Umi wants Chizuru. As long as Kazuya and Chizuru are moving closer together, both Umi and Ruka lose. Are they about to form an alliance to sabotage Kazuya and Chizuru's relationship? If Umi feeds Ruka information, or if they scheme to force a confrontation, this could trigger the final massive conflict of the current arc. On one hand, it shows that no matter how hard Kazuya tries to distract himself, Chizuru has completely taken over his soul. He can't even look at adult content without his brain forcing an image of Chizuru laughing in the light. It's a bittersweet reminder of how deeply he loves her, despite the pain of rejection. But on the out-of-universe plot side, the Umi and Ruka meetup is the real catalyst. The preview title, Uneasy Allies, confirms they are going to team up. This might be the final boss obstacle that Kazuya and Chizuru have to overcome before they can finally become a real couple. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think Umi and Ruka are planning? Will Ruka see through Umi's smooth talking, or will she agree to help him break up Kazuya and Chizuru for good? Drop your wild theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, give the video a thumbs up, share it with your fellow Kanokari manga readers, and don't forget to subscribe for more weekly chapter updates. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video when chapter 427 drops. Peace out.